No safety equipment whatsoever. He starts the run, makes the turn, and goes for the jump. Unbelievable with the car on fire. It lands right side up. That is a good sign. The safety crew is already beginning to extinguish the multitudes of fires that have started. Look at the front end of the car, the roof itself, taking a tremendous impact. We can't see for sure whether Carson is moving within the car, but he cleaned off the pyramid of metal in a spectacular way. Still more fires on the floor of the Metrodome being extinguished while the safety crews work to get Carson out of the remains of the Buick. He appears to be moving. And he's motioning to be pulled out of the car. It looks like Carson has gotten out of this one, at least consciously. And now he's pulling himself through the open window, and Carson is okay. An amazing individual as the helmet comes off. He appears shaken. Certainly he is not ready to stand on his own at this point, talking things over with his crew chief. But now he's up. An incredible job. The smoke from the explosion sifting through the rafters of the Metrodome. What an incredible job.
Looks like Brian Carson is ready to talk. And Brian, we've seen this act enough times to know that I think just about everything went wrong on that jump.
I'll tell you, I don't know what happened. I want someone beat the hell out of me in that car.
An incredible jump. I had to feel for you when you actually came in the first time. You don't like to make flybys, and when you came in the first time, that thing was dead sideways.
Yeah, I lost in the turn, and, you know, just I don't know what it is, a lot of luck that we got this thing in off the ramp. But you give your word, we're going to do something. You know, the conditions weren't right to do it because we didn't have a straight run in, and we had a lot of things that weren't working with us. But, you know, you say you're going to do something, you keep your word no matter if you're a postman or a stuntman, you just do it. God bless America. Love you, Minneapolis.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Carson. Coming up, you'll get a chance to see the battle between First Blood and Bigfoot. Who will it be? Stay with us.
15 years ago, a monster truck had been put together for exhibition competition for a nominal amount of money, but those days are long gone. Now in the 1990s, Bob Chandler's Bigfoot Enterprises in St. Louis, Missouri is literally an assembly line for some of the most popular machines ever made. Bob, how much money are we talking about to campaign 12 different trucks per season?
The last time I sat down and figured, I spend $75,000 a year on preventive maintenance per truck. To build a truck nowadays is somewhere around $70,000. But like when I made this change to Bigfoot 8 to the computer design, I spent 9 months in the computer first and got all the roughness out of it. Then we put the truck together in about 3 months. They're actually cheaper to put together now than they were years ago. They're lighter. There's a lot more technology put in it, definitely. I really don't know what I spent on a whole for a year. I know by the time I sit at the end of the year, I end up with about a zero profit margin.
How many people does Bigfoot Enterprises employ right now?
We have about 45 today.
How much equipment total are we looking at? Obviously, you've got the trucks, you've got the crew, you've got the drivers, even the building, which is sizable in itself. But what else has to go into the background of these things for operation?
Well, we have an entire machine shop for building the chassis and part of some of the engine work. We have an engine room, clean room, supposedly, where we assemble engines. We have people that specialize in wiring. One of our crew starts from scratch with these trucks and wires it from scratch. there's a lot of specialty things involved here, and each guy at our shop has one specialty, but they do a little of everything.
While Bob Chandler's operation is at the pinnacle of the business, there are still a few independent monster truck campaigners left in this sport, and probably the most prolific of those independents is the 1989 U.S. Association Camel Rookie of the Year, Rob Fuchs out of Illinois. And Rob, as opposed to a 12-truck industry with its own assembly line and dyno rooms, you basically built this thing in your backyard.
Well, I was in my backyard and in my garage, but yeah, I built it all myself, and it's just a lot of work.
You were looking at yourself and maybe one or two crewmen maximum, and you're on a very, very limited budget. How much money are you putting out a year to campaign this thing?
It varies week to week. It depends on what kind of breakage you have. I would say on average it runs between $60,000 and $90,000 to keep the truck running for a year.
And like I said, all the maintenance during the week is performed by you and maybe a few volunteers, right?
Yeah, all volunteers. They're just friends that come down and help because they enjoy it and want to see me do good.
You still somehow manage to keep this truck competitive with even the highest tech Bigfoots and Barefoots. How do you do it?
Just a lot of hard work and help from my friends, and got a lot of luck. I mean, I'm surprised it's as competitive as it is because it's given away about a ton to the rest of the trucks.
What is it going to take to make this thing win the World Championship for Camel?
I'd say lose the 2,000 pounds that I'm carrying, and just some luck.
An all-board battle between one of the highest dollar pieces of machinery in the history of monster truck racing against a machine literally built in a backyard garage in upstate Illinois. It's Bigfoot and John Pyatt against the guy they call the working class hero, Rob Fuchs, the unsponsored independent in the First Blood Ford. Fuchs, the Rookie of the Year in 1989, finished in the top 8 of the U.S. Auto Association World Championship battle last season. John Pyatt finished in the top 4. And Fuchs would like nothing more than to slay the giant in this David versus Goliath battle. But at the finish line, on the nose and into the wall, it's John Pyatt and Bigfoot taking the victory. A valiant effort by the First Blood driver. Rob Fuchs left the starting line right with Pyatt, but the Bigfoot machine came on in the top end to drive away. On the instant replay, you can see that there was no advantage gained on the initial reaction. But in the air is where Bigfoot picked up, then hard on the nose and hard on the brakes, just tapping the wall. John Pyatt steps out to the cries of the crowd. They love every minute of it when Bigfoot comes away a winner. Chris Chapman is standing by with John Pyatt in the winner's circle.
John, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you. It felt really good.
Did you think that you were going to really maybe have to do a little bit more than you expected going in against Rob Fuchs?
Yeah, I've been kind of testing the track out every run, pushing a little bit harder and harder. I knew I was going to have to run real hard to, beat him in the final. That was the hardest I hit the hill, and it pushed it pretty hard. I took a good hit. My back's kind of sore.
Something about whenever trucks come up against you on that far lane, they'd like to get out of control. Did you see him getting out of control?
No, I didn't really see anything except the wall and the ground and a few other assorted things.
I didn't think you were going to stop. All the camera crew were standing in there. We got out of your way. What was going on?
The truck took a funny hop